Have you ever wondered what connects a farmer's plough to a satellite orbiting thousands of kilometers above? What if every seed sown, every drop of rain, and every government decision could speak the same digital language? Welcome to a new era where data becomes the new soil of prosperity. This is From Data to Decisions, Empowering Farmers Through Digital Public Infrastructure, a special episode on Agristack and DPI, powering India's Agritech revolution. India's agriculture is undergoing its biggest transformation ever, from isolated systems and paper surveys to AI-driven intelligence, from guesswork to precision, and from fragmentation to integration. In today's episode, we'll explore how Agristack, the brain of Indian agriculture, and DPI, its digital nervous system, are together connecting every farmer, every field, and every policy decision through data. Stay tuned, because by the end of this conversation, you'll see how India's next green revolution isn't happening in the fields alone, it's happening in the cloud. And joining us today is the leader behind this mission, who leads Agristack project across Pan-India at Amnex Info Technologies. He'll take us through the journey of Agristack, how it's building trust, transparency, and intelligence across Indian agriculture. Let's dive right in.
Thank you for the session. I would like to start with a sentence that, just as UPI revolutionized digital payments, Agristack DPI is set to revolutionize agriculture, bringing trust, transparency, and intelligence to every farm of India.
My first question is that, before Agristack came into the picture, what was India's agriculture data ecosystem like? What were the real challenges farmers and departments faced on the ground?
That's a very important question. If we look at the pre-Agristack landscape, India's agriculture was rich in diversity, but poor in digital integration. Data existed everywhere, in different states, departments, and formats. But it didn't talk to each other. Manual surveys meant long delays in validation and reporting. By the time data reached decision makers, the cropping season had often changed. And in the age of climate unpredictability, that delay meant risk. Risk to yield, food security, and farmer income. Farmers were still depending on generic advisories, the same message sent across districts, without considering soil, weather, or crop variety. So decisions were reactive, not proactive.
And how has the picture changed now in the post-Agristack world?
Post-Agristack, everything is different. We've moved from reactive governance to proactive intelligence. Digital Public Infrastructure, or DPI, is now the backbone of Agritech modernization, securely connecting systems, states, and stakeholders. Agristack brings together field data, weather, soil, and policy under one digital fabric. With AI, IoT, and remote sensing, we can now take real-time, evidence-based decisions, whether it's irrigation, crop stress, or early warnings for floods and pests. The focus is no longer on isolated systems, but on interoperability, inclusion, and accountability. It means that whether you are a farmer in any village of India or an officer in any of the agriculture department, you are looking at the same verified data in real time. That's the essence of Agristack, a unified, intelligent ecosystem where every decision is based on intelligence, not assumption.
Sir, you mentioned earlier how data existed everywhere but didn't connect. Let me ask, what really happens when systems don't talk to each other? What does this fragmentation cost us, not just in data but in decisions and in farmers' livelihoods?
That's the heart of the problem. For decades, India's agriculture systems worked in isolation. Land records in one department, crop data in another, and weather updates somewhere else. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle with all the right pieces but each one locked in a different room. That's what fragmentation looked like. Disconnected systems meant that every critical decision, whether it was about irrigation, fertilizer distribution, or disaster response, was delayed. And in agriculture, a delayed decision is often a lost opportunity. When data doesn't move, neither does action. By the time reports arrive from the field, the season had already changed. Crops dried, floods hit, or pests spread. So the cost wasn't just inefficiency. It was lost yield, lost income, and lost trust.
That paints a very vivid picture. Disconnected systems leading to delayed decisions and eventually to lost opportunities. So is that what led to the creation of Agristack, to unify all these silos?
Exactly. Agristack was designed as India's connective tissue, a framework that brings together fragmented systems under one digital fabric. It's about turning isolated data points into a living ecosystem of intelligence. Or as we like to say, fragmented yesterday, unified today, the case for Agristack.
We've talked about data silos and delays, but let's bring this closer to the ground. When systems are disconnected, what's the actual impact on governance and, more importantly, on the farmers themselves?
That's a crucial question. Because fragmentation isn't just a technical issue, it's a human issue. When information doesn't flow in time, governance becomes reactive instead of proactive. For example, during droughts or floods, decisions used to rely on manual reports that took weeks to compile. By the time those numbers reached the department, the damage was already done. Relief came late, crops were lost, and farmer trust diminished. Pest or disease outbreaks were another challenge. Without integrated monitoring, early warnings never reached the right people fast enough. And so intervention arrived too late, costing productivity and peace of mind. At the governance level, fragmented data meant scattered insights. Departments couldn't coordinate effectively. Funds were allocated based on assumptions, not on real-time evidence. The result? Delayed responses, reactive management, wasted resources, and declining confidence in the system.
That's a sobering reality. It shows how disconnected data translates directly into delayed action on the ground. So, how does Agristack help change that story?
Agristack shifts governance from being reactive to being predictive and preventive. By integrating satellite, IoT, and field data, it allows real-time insights, whether it's rainfall deviation, irrigation need, or pest outbreak risk. Now, when an anomaly is detected, alerts are sent immediately to officers, to departments, and even directly to farmers in their local language. It transforms governance from a paper process to a precision system. With Agristack, data finally becomes what it was always meant to be: a bridge between decision makers and the people they serve. The need for transformation from fragmentation to intelligence. This one transitions the listener from problems to possibilities, showing how Agristack brings intelligence, speed, and trust into India's agriculture system.
So far we've seen how disconnected systems cause delays and lost opportunities. But every challenge creates room for transformation. So, what sparked this change? What made the government and innovators like Amnex to realize it's time to move from fragmentation to intelligence?
That realization came from one clear truth: you can't manage what you can't measure. Agriculture is dynamic. The weather changes by the hour, soil by the acre, and farmer needs by the season. Fragmented systems couldn't keep up with that pace. We needed a unified, real-time AI-driven ecosystem, something that could connect every byte of data, every department, and every decision maker. That's where Agristack comes in. It's not just another platform, it's a transformation framework. It integrates satellites, IoT sensors, weather feeds, field surveys, and even mobile app data into one digital fabric. This is how data turns into intelligence, and intelligence turns into action.
So Agristack isn't just about technology, it's about how that technology empowers people.
Exactly. The goal isn't data collection, it's decision empowerment. Every farmer, officer, and policymaker gets access to the same verified information. We are talking about real-time intelligence flow, connecting field to cloud to command centers, AI-powered insights, which predicts crop stress, irrigation needs, or yield variations before they happen. Localized advisories, which are delivered in farmers' preferred languages. Transparency and trust, because every decision can now be traced back to data, not assumption. In short, transformation is not just digital, it's behavioral. We are moving from reactive governance to a culture of proactive intelligence.
That's such a powerful shift from paper and assumptions to prediction and precision. It feels like the true digital revolution in agriculture has just begun. Viewers, now we are moving to another interesting segment, the Agristack DPI, digital backbone of India's agriculture. We've been hearing a lot about Agristack and digital public infrastructure, or DPI. For our listeners who might be new to these terms, could you simplify it for us? What exactly are Agristack and DPI, and how do they work together to transform Indian agriculture?
That's a great question, because understanding these two pillars explains everything about India's digital agriculture revolution. Think of Agristack as the brain of Indian agriculture. It's a unified digital repository that stores and connects farmer data, land records, soil health, crop details, and weather information all in one place. Now, DPI, or Digital Public Infrastructure, is the nervous system that makes this brain work. It enables secure, consent-based data sharing between departments, startups, and private players, just like UPI did for payments. Together, Agristack DPI ensure that data is not just collected but trusted, interoperable, and actionable.
That's a wonderful analogy. Agristack as the brain and DPI as the nervous system of this new ecosystem. But how do they help the government and farmers on a daily basis?
Imagine a farmer in Gujarat whose soil data, rainfall pattern, and crop health are all connected digitally. If satellite data shows moisture stress, the system instantly alerts the local agriculture officer and the farmer through an app or an SMS. That's the power of integration. One data set triggers intelligent action across multiple levels. For the government, it means precision in every policy, accurate DBT targeting, transparent subsidy management, real-time monitoring of yield, irrigation and crop stress, and evidence-based decisions instead of assumptions. So, Agristack is not just about data collection, it's about data to decision transformation. That's how India's agriculture is shifting from analog to intelligent, from disconnected to unified.
Beautifully said. Agristack as the brain, DPI as the nervous system, and farmers as the heart of this new ecosystem. It's truly India's digital foundation for sustainable, inclusive growth. We've learned what Agristack and DPI are, but let's talk about how they actually work. Every strong system stands on a solid foundation, and your slides call them the 4 pillars of digital agriculture. Can you take us through these layers and how they come together to drive this transformation?
Absolutely. Agristack's strength lies in its layered architecture. It's like a living ecosystem, where every layer talks to the next, creating a continuous loop from the farm to the policy table. Let me simplify it with a story. Imagine a farmer's field somewhere in his village. The soil, the crop, the rainfall, all of that data is captured, analyzed, and translated into action through these 4 layers. First layer is the data and integration layer, the foundation layer. Second layer is the intelligence and analytics layer, the brain layer. Third layer is the communication and advisory layer, the voice. And the fourth is the governance and user layer, the heart of accountability.
That's incredible. It's like a living system where data flows from the soil to the satellite to the farmer and finally into the hands of policymakers. And it all loops back again, creating a continuous cycle of learning and action.
Exactly. Agristack isn't just a data project. It's a synchronized intelligence system driving India's entire agriculture value chain.
Viewers, now we are moving to important segment of our podcast related to decision support systems and dashboards, which turns intelligence into actionable governance. We will understand how dashboards act as the command center of modern agriculture, converting data into rapid, informed action. Sir, we often hear that dashboards and decision support systems are the control rooms of Agristack. Could you tell us how do these DSS tools actually turn intelligence into real governance? What happens when an officer or administrator logs into one of these systems?
That's a great image because a DSS is indeed like a digital command center for agriculture. It acts as the analytical brain of the ecosystem. Here's what happens. Data from satellites, IoT sensors, ground surveys, and weather feeds flows continuously into the DSS. The system then translates all that complexity into visual insights and alerts. Crop health maps, rainfall patterns, irrigation needs, yield forecasts, everything on one single screen. So instead of flipping through hundreds of reports, officers can literally see what's happening on the ground in real time. It's a shift from static reports to live operational intelligence.
That sounds powerful. So what are some key features that make these dashboards so effective?
The strength lies in interactivity and precision. First, real-time monitoring. Officers can track crop health, rainfall, and yield right down to the village level. Interactive visualization. Dynamic maps, charts, and anomaly detection let them spot early warning signs immediately. Configurable thresholds. Each department can set custom alerts, say for moisture stress or sowing delays. Integration-ready architecture connects seamlessly with insurance, weather, and advisory platforms. And role-based access. So different users, such as farmers, taluka officers, administrators, each see insights tailored to their needs. In short, it's a single pane of glass for India's agri-intelligence.
That sounds powerful. So what has been the real-world impact of these DSS tools? Have they changed how departments and officers work on the ground?
Absolutely, the impact has been transformative. Responses to droughts, pests, or floods are now faster and more precise. Fund allocation and crop estimation have become transparent and traceable. Coordination between departments has strengthened because everyone's looking at the same verified data. Accountability has improved. Every decision leaves a digital audit trail. And most importantly, decision making has been empowered at every level, from taluka officers to ministries. What used to take weeks of manual reporting now happens in hours, sometimes even minutes. In the DSS era, evidence replaces assumption.
That's a powerful statement. Evidence replaces assumption. It's exactly what modern governance should stand for. From the soil to the satellite to the dashboard, every layer of Agristack is working in sync to make smarter, faster, and more transparent decisions possible.
Yes.
So one of the most exciting parts of this transformation is what happens at the last mile, when insights actually reach the farmer. It's like delivering the right message at the right time, in the right language. That sounds like a dream for every farmer. How does Agristack make that possible?
It truly is one of the most impactful parts of Agristack. You see, for decades, advisories were generic, the same message sent across districts or even entire states. But farming isn't one size fits all. Every crop, soil, and season behaves differently. So we shifted from generic bulletins to personalized, data-driven advisories. Today, AI and remote sensing combined with local data, rainfall, soil moisture, growth stage, to tailor precise recommendations. These advisories are farm-specific, weather-linked, and stage-wise. They're not just informative, they're contextual, credible, and actionable.
That's a big leap, but farmers across India speak different languages and have different literacy levels. How do you make sure these advisories actually reach them and in a way they can understand?
That's where localization and accessibility come in. All advisories are delivered in regional languages, ensuring inclusivity and comprehension. We use multiple communication channels: mobile app notifications for smartphone users, SMS and IVRS messages for basic phones, and AI chatbots and WhatsApp Connect for conversational engagement. For farmers with limited literacy, we also use voice, text, and video formats, so every message can be heard, seen, or read. The goal is simple. Every farmer gets an advisory they can understand and act upon.
That's impressive. So this is truly hyper-local and personalized. Can you give an example of how such personalization actually works in practice?
Absolutely. Let's say Agristack detects moisture stress in a specific groundnut field in Junagadh district. The DSS system triggers an alert, and within minutes, the farmer receives an SMS in local language that says, "Moisture stress detected in your groundnut field, irrigate within 24 hours."
That must really change the way farmers engage with the system. Have you noticed any tangible impact from these personalized advisories?
Absolutely. The results have been very encouraging. Farmers report higher trust in government advisories. Input efficiency, like fertilizer and water use, has improved significantly. Crop losses have reduced because action happens faster. And we've seen stronger engagement. Farmers now reply, share feedback, even upload photos through the app. It's a complete shift from awareness to empowerment. When a farmer receives timely, localized intelligence, that's when digital truly becomes personal.
That's powerful. From a distant government bulletin to a message on a farmer's own phone in their own language telling them what to do today. It's the perfect example of technology meeting empathy. Personalized and localized advisories, delivering the right message at the right time in the right language.
True.
Viewers, as a part of Agristack DPI, government aims to empower every farmer with a unique digital identity. In this engaging session, we are now going to understand how verified digital IDs, consent-based data sharing, and AI profiling create trust, inclusion, and precision in agriculture governance. Curious and Reflection begins with identity. And your slide says, empowering every farmer with a unique digital identity. Can you explain how this digital identity works and why it's such a game changer for Indian agriculture?
Absolutely. Just as Aadhaar give every citizen a verified digital identity,
Agristack gives every farmer and every field a unique, verifiable digital identity. We integrate land records, Aadhaar, and geospatial boundaries to create what we call the Digital Farmer ID. Each farmer is digitally mapped, their fields geotagged, and their information validated through real-time data and ground verification. This ensures precise targeting for schemes, eliminates duplication of fraud, and removes the dependency on paper-based verification. It means that every scheme, subsidy, or advisory reaches exactly the right farmer. No leakages, no guesswork. In short, every field and farmer digitally mapped and verified.
That's fascinating. But Agristack goes beyond just identification. There's a mention of 360-degree farmer profiling. What does that include?
Yes, the 360-degree farmer profile is the next evolution. It's not just about who the farmer is, it's about understanding the entire ecosystem around them. We combine demographics, a landholding size, crop history, soil type, irrigation source, credit and insurance data to create a holistic data-driven persona. This profile enables AI-powered recommendations, for example, advising on the right crop rotation, input quantity, or suitable schemes for their soil and climate. It's like having a personalized digital agronomist for every farmer, always learning, always improving.
That's an incredible vision. But data privacy is often a big concern in digital systems. How does Agristack ensure trust and control for the farmer?
That's a very important point, and it's central to how we design Agristack. Farmers have full ownership and control over their data. They decide who can access it, for what purpose, and for how long. All sharing follows the digital public infrastructure principles of consent, transparency, and security. It's about shifting the farmer's role from a beneficiary to a data contributor. We call this principle my data, my rights. It ensures that trust and privacy are never compromised, even as innovation scales.
That's such a refreshing approach. Data as a right, not just a resource. Can you share some real-world examples or use cases of how this digital identity is already helping farmers?
A few key impacts are: first, verified targeting ensures subsidies and benefits reach the right farmer instantly. Crop insurance-related claims are validated using real-time satellite and field-level data, faster and more accurate. Location-linked data means advisories are hyper-local and state-specific. In short, we are moving from digital identity to precision support to inclusive growth. It's not just about identifying farmers, it's about recognizing them as partners in data-driven prosperity.
That's powerful. Transforming farmers from recipients to contributors, from beneficiaries to stakeholders. The future of agriculture truly looks intelligent, inclusive, and human-centric.
Absolutely.
We've seen how Agristack empowers farmers and officers through intelligence and identity. But behind all of that lies something extraordinary, a network of technologies working in perfect harmony. So, helps our viewers to understand that how do all different technologies these come together to create real-time intelligence for agriculture.
This is where the true magic of Agristack happens, where space, soil, and systems speak the same language. Agristack's strength lies in convergence. Satellites see the fields, IoT sensors feel the soil, AI interprets the signals, and the cloud delivers intelligence instantly. It's like creating a digital nervous system for Indian agriculture, connected, predictive, and inclusive. The different technologies are remote sensing and GIS, Internet of Things and field sensors, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cloud computing, and agri-data fabric.
That's an incredible picture. The sky, the soil, the AI brain, and the cloud heart all working together to make agriculture smarter. It's not just technology, it's coordination at scale.
Exactly. This convergence is what turns India's farms into intelligent ecosystems, where decisions are data-driven, actions are timely, and outcomes are sustainable. That's the real digital agriculture revolution.
So we've heard the big picture, the architecture, the intelligence, and the technology. But I think what everyone's waiting to know is this: how much of this is actually happening on the ground? Can you tell us what's been achieved so far under Agristack? What real progress we are seeing across India?
That's a great question, and I'm happy to say that Agristack is no longer just a concept. It's a living, growing digital ecosystem already transforming the way agriculture data is managed and decisions are made. Let me highlight a few key milestones that show this transformation in action. This is where it all begins, with data accuracy at the field level. The Digital Crop Survey and Farmer Registry have been implemented in multiple states. Over 7.25 crore farmers have already been registered, and their cropped areas have been geotagged using mobile apps and satellite validation. We now have real-time data flow from field to dashboards. This builds the foundation for transparent crop reporting, digital benefit transfer, and evidence-based policymaking. It's the first layer of field-level digital accuracy, a massive leap forward from paper-based surveys. Next comes integration. Every farmer now has a unified Aadhaar-linked digital profile connected to their land parcel, crop data, and scheme eligibility. This ensures precision in DBT, that is direct benefit transfer, subsidy distribution, and advisory targeting. We call it the One Farmer, One Identity vision, a system that promotes inclusion, transparency, and accountability. No duplication, no misallocation, just verified, data-backed governance. The Krishi Decision Support System has been developed for officers and administrators, enabling them to monitor crop health, rainfall, irrigation, and advisories in real time. It integrates data from satellites, weather APIs, and survey apps, creating smart digital command centers for agriculture. This has improved transparency, speed, and coordination across departments, making governance smarter, faster, and evidence-driven. Lastly, Agristack's real strength lies in interoperability. We've successfully conducted DPI-aligned pilots that allow secure data exchange across systems, from soil to weather to farmer registry. Platforms like Krishi Pragati Gujarat have already been integrated with the Digital Crop Survey framework. APIs are developed for seamless cross-platform communication between multiple databases, ensuring data is consistent and accessible statewide. The framework is now ready for national-scale adoption under Agristack, connecting departments, states, and systems into one unified digital fabric.
That's incredible. From millions of farmers digitally registered to real-time dashboards for governance, it's clear Agristack has moved far beyond pilots. This truly sounds like the foundation of a connected and intelligent agriculture ecosystem.
Exactly. This is India's digital agriculture in motion. Every farmer we register, every plot we map, every dashboard we deploy. It all takes us closer to a transparent, efficient, and inclusive agri-future. Agristack is not just about technology. It's about trust and transformation on the ground.
We've seen how Agristack is building the foundation for digital agriculture nationwide, but one state seems to have turned vision into execution faster than anyone else, Gujarat, which is India's Agritech lighthouse state. So what makes Gujarat's journey so special?
That's right. Gujarat's story with Agristack is not just about technology. It's about intent, integration, and impact. The Krishi Pragati initiative has proven that Agristack works, not as theory, but as a real, functioning ecosystem. With real-time data, AI-powered analytics, and localized advisories, Gujarat has built a digital agriculture framework where every farmer's field is visible, measurable, and supported.
Viewers, let's look at the Krishi Pragati data which are available in public domain. The scale speaks for itself. 55 lakh farmers registered under Agristack with 2.5 lakh active users on the Krishi Pragati mobile app. 35 plus crops classified using AI/ML with over 80% accuracy. District dashboards live in all 33 districts. 3.5 crore SMS advisories already sent in Gujarati. DSS modules operational for rainfall, crop health, irrigation, flood, and drought. This is not a pilot, it's a statewide digital transformation.
Exactly. Gujarat's Krishi Pragati shows how the right intent and integration can turn data into wealth, not just for the farmer, but for the entire ecosystem. And now it's serving as the blueprint for India's National Digital Agriculture Mission.
Viewers, the last session is how to create wealth for the farmers. What will be the road ahead towards Agri Wealth 2030, which builds the future of smart, inclusive, and data-driven agriculture? So the question is, what does the future of digital agriculture look like, and how does Agri Wealth 2030 take this vision forward?
The road ahead is both ambitious and achievable. By 2030, we envision an India where every bite of agriculture data contributes to prosperity, sustainability, and sovereignty, where intelligence is not centralized but distributed, empowering farmers, officers, and innovators alike. Agristack will evolve into a national agri-intelligence grid driven by 5 key shifts, from observation to prediction to action,
And from beneficiary to stakeholder, the most powerful transformation is cultural. Farmers will no longer be just recipients, they'll be data contributors. They'll decide who accesses their information and even earn value by sharing anonymized insights with startups, researchers, or agribusinesses. This shifts the mindset from beneficiary to stakeholder economy, restoring dignity, empowerment, and ownership. Data is equal to wealth, empowerment, and dignity.
That's truly inspiring, a future where every field is intelligent, every farmer is empowered, and every decision is data-driven. From soil to satellite, and now from insight to impact, this journey towards Agri Wealth 2030 seems to redefine not just farming, but the very fabric of rural India.
Exactly. We are moving towards an India where every bite of data nurtures prosperity, sustainability, and sovereignty. That's the essence of Agri Wealth 2030. A future where intelligence grows in every field and wealth begins at the root.
Friends, today we explored how Agristack and digital public infrastructure are transforming Indian agriculture, making it smarter, data-driven, and truly empowering for every farmer. From satellites in the sky to sensors in the soil, technology is now walking hand in hand with the farmer. Every field is becoming intelligent. Every decision data-backed. This is the vision of Agri Wealth 2030, where every bite of data nurtures prosperity, sustainability, and sovereignty. If you found this episode insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Cognition, where knowledge meets imagination. I'm your host, signing off with one thought. Agriculture is no longer just tradition. It's a digital revolution in motion.